We want to make an announcement that the topics discussed in this podcast are potentially triggering, including discussions about sexual assault and abuse in figure skating, and that all comments made in this podcast are the opinions of both the hosts based on ongoing and past safe sport investigations.
Hey, this is Midnight Blues and Other Musings, your opinionated and investigative figure skating podcast. Today we're going to be doing a recap of general skating news and our thoughts on them, and also keep an eye out for our interview with Christina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko, which will be released tomorrow, Sunday. We had such a good time talking to them.
So awesome. They were so gracious to allow us to interview them today, and we really got to know a little bit about their training and kind of their mentality with skating. We are so excited to see all the changes they talked about in this interview coming this fall.
Yeah, I'm so excited, and I hope Virtue Moyer fans listen to it because they did talk about Scott, and that was so lovely for us to hear as big Tessa and Scott fans.
Yeah, I am. It's really awesome to hear all the ways that they've been really improving and really changing how they think about skating. And I'm for one, I'm so excited. I've been huge fans of Christina and Anthony since 2018. And I feel so vindicated by the fact that they're like making this huge switch and obviously are going to be improving so much. They've already improved so much already based on the clips they've posted on Instagram.
Yeah, just like hearing about their changes and how their off ice training is, and they just seem so happy, and it's lovely to see.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off by talking about TJ Nyman and Aljona Savchenko. Cece, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so let's do like a brief overview first if you haven't heard about it, which you probably all have if you're listening to this. You definitely spend a lot of time. So basically TJ Nyman, who is an American para skater, best known for competing at the Junior Grand Prix final in 2018, has supposedly partnered up with Aljona Savchenko, the reigning Olympic champion in pairs, and Aljona was given a release by the German Skating Federation yesterday to skate for the U.S. Aljona has been working in Delilah's rink in Colorado for the past few months. Broadmoor is her rink, at least since April. And so she's really big here. And when she announced this partnership, or when the rumors finally came to light, along with the information that of the release yesterday, a lot of people had a lot of opinions about it, including ourselves. And I mean, I for one am just like really disgusted by this whole situation. TJ's behavior has been very public in both safe sport and in skating, if not, and it's just really sad to see Aljona kind of choose TJ as her option to get back to the Olympics, considering he's not a very experienced talent, not a very experienced partner, much younger than her. And then also getting US citizenship is very, very difficult. It takes probably 4 to 6 years. She'll qualify for extraordinary talent, but still like this whole decision is just like such a like bad thing, just based in like the actual like how it's going to work out, and then the choice to partner with TJ and work with Delilah. It's just bad all around.
Yeah, he cycled through a bunch of partners for the past few seasons, hasn't competed at senior nationals, but has always been Delilah's golden boy. And I also wish that people kind of understood that terrible human beings can unfortunately have talent, and that's literally the case with TJ. There's a reason why he's U.S. figure skating's, that's why they're protecting him so much. That's why Delilah is protecting him so much. And I think it's also very telling that they're attempting to partner him up with like much older skaters like Diana Stellato and Vanessa James after he cycled through much younger partners, given the allegations against him.
Yeah, and I think it's also telling that Vanessa and Deanna, they both chose to skate for Canada. In Vanessa's case, she probably could have done either or. Skate Canada is not as powerful or as reliable as a federation of the USFSA. So choosing to partner with Skate Canada really speaks to the fact that she did not want to skate with TJ. And her and Morgan's relationship and the way that all went down with Eric is a separate conversation, but that definitely was a horrible thing as well.
Yeah, 100%. One thing is though is that the reason why USFS protects him so much, I don't know if, the people that are, listening to us follow pairs, but he has extremely strong skating skills, excellent jumper. His twists and throws, in my opinion, are really, really good. But I do know that he's been extremely negligent with his partners in terms of, injuring them and blaming them for those injuries. But yeah, I mean, I'm disgusted. I think it's disgusting that she's even going forward with this, because
Yeah,
she's
even thinking about it.
even like, it's hard for me to conceptualize this is even happening. But yeah, I mean, she's aware of the allegations. So
Yeah.
is everyone involved at this point. Benoit is aware of the allegations, but none of them care. It doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, I think it's definitely. I think what's also not interesting, but this just definitely reads as like a gut reaction to the fact to Eric and Vanessa's announcement this past April that Aljona decides, oh, I want to come back and skate again. And I think it really speaks to a larger conversation about how skaters like just can't let things go, and how they're really unprepared for the real world. And it's just another thing in the long list of ways that skating has really ruined a lot of people's lives and caused generations of hurt. And going back to that earlier point, Pri, about him being talented, I think there's a lot of literature and just like discussion about how people that are talented are given power, and then they abuse that power at the behest of others and like put others down. Or wealth. I think like wealth and talent are kind of the same thing. I mean, I think it's like you look at any type of like Hollywood director, actor, whatever, they have talent and they abuse it for at the behest of others. I think it's a very similar
Mhm.
situation.
Yeah, let's kind of expand on about revisionist history.
Hmm.
That kind of comes with the discourse surrounding these these talented skaters that end up being horrible people, and we end up acting as though other skaters were robbed of medals, and people are it's totally understandable that perhaps you feel that your favorite skaters were robbed in favor of these horrible people, but there's a you're robbing yourself of context if you're kind of pretending
Yeah.
that these really bad people are untalented, because there's a reason why these awful people are in positions of power, and why they're essentially worshipped by their skating federations. And that's exactly what's happening with TJ Nyman. He has not much competitive success, but in terms of raw talent, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that USFS sees the raw talent, and I think both of us kind of see that raw talent as a reason why he's being protected this much.
Yeah, and I think it to talk about this, I mean, I think in pairs and dance too, talent does not directly transmit to partnering ability. He's been through 3 partners around his own age since we've seen him
Mhm.
compete, and he's kind of been on the radar. He was potential partner for Vanessa James, Diana Stellato, and now Aljona
Even Jenny
Savchenko.
too.
Oh yes, yes. So just like so much cycling, and I mean, like as the old adage goes, like when there's smoke, there's fire. There's just
Yeah.
not something right, and I think everybody kind of realized that. But going back to your point, I feel like I think skating fans in general, especially on Twitter, have kind of had we've all learned a lot and matured in the last 4 years, as it sadly has become more common for survivors to speak out about their own toxic experiences in figure skating. And I think we've definitely matured and been able to respond more appropriately and more succinctly over time. But I really think it is important to remember that I think skating is kind of rotten to the core, and
Mhm.
everybody is kind of complicit in their own way. So
Yeah.
pretending that a skater isn't aware or isn't part of it is really, you're really selling yourself short. And I mean, I know I've made statements and come to regret it later on when other things came out
Mhm.
about them. And I think it's just in general, it's like really good with any type of public figure to avoid any assumption about personal belief about how they've acted in the past, because oftentimes there's PR, we don't know, like we see these skaters on social media and like the 20 seconds they speak in the kiss and cry. We don't know who they are. We
Mhm.
don't know what their personal feelings and thoughts are, and it's really immature to assume we can speak for them. And when it comes out they were acting the way that we assumed they would, we all just look all the more foolish for it.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. You're doing yourself a disservice
Mhm.
by, kind of deluding yourself into believing that these skaters that you love are these perfect angels who have the same exact political beliefs as you and, cause zero harm when unfortunately we don't know them and at the most have this parasocial relationship with
Yeah,
them.
especially for skaters not from the United States as well. Skaters have very different relationships with their governments in different countries depending on whether they're funded for the government by the
Yeah.
government. Obviously, like USFSA is funded a little bit in part, but it's not sole funding. I think it's very important to remember how things are run in different countries and how people have very different relationships. And so your skaters will not respond the way that that you would respond because of the different situations you are in.
Yeah, 100%. I think that, you have to understand that there's a fine line between having political autonomy and also, kind of being controlled in terms of, finances and funding.
Yeah,
Uh, and that, obviously translates to a stronger, tie to the government that they're under.
yeah,
And I think it's just very nuanced. But in terms of just like people propping up other skaters and claiming they were robbed in favor of these horrible human beings. Unfortunately, we don't know these other skaters. We don't know what they've done. We don't know what harm they've caused, and there's no point in pretending that they're these perfect angels because unfortunately, you're going to be disappointed if news comes out that they're not perfect angels and they have caused harm.
yeah. And going back to the funding thing, tying this back into our early discussion about culture of abuse, skating is an expensive sport. And I think oftentimes money is used as a tool of manipulation for survivors to keep quiet as a way to persuade them, like we'll pay your fees, we'll pay your coaching fees. Skaters are afraid to speak out due to the loss of support. They need money to continue skating.
Mhm.
I think it's just really sad, but unfortunately very common the way that money is used as a tool of control and manipulation for those that have suffered and the survivors that have suffered and are unable to speak out.
Yeah, super upsetting. But yeah, word of caution for everyone that's listening. Don't put these skaters on a pedestal. That's just something that I think me and Cece have learned over the
Yeah,
years. And
definitely
you know,
acted very differently when we were like
yeah,
17 and
totally,
didn't know
totally.
anything. Yeah, I think skating has become a lot more public in recent years, and I don't know if that's about social media, but talking with fans that have been in the sport longer, like it didn't used to be this like open and like this sort of stuff wasn't really discussed with fans and people in skating, but now they're kind of one and the same. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's good or bad, but it's just something that's different.
yeah. And also like on the TJ thing, you saw this, Harley Windsor.
Mhm.
A former junior world champion in pairs, an Olympian, was being really, really awful on Twitter. Was calling people a joke in response to them talking about the allegations. I mean, it was horrifying, and also like knowing that he's friends with Morgan and TJ, and seeing those type of willfully ignorant responses to random people he does not know really, really, really shows you that figure skating is rotten to its core.
Yeah. And I feel like it definitely speaks to the culture within pairs as well. Obviously, it's within ice dance, but pairs boys especially, they're a rare commodity, and so their coaches and federation really like idolize them. And I think
Yeah,
that's the root of like a lot of problems in all of society is that men are
yeah,
really like built up and put up at the behest of others. So
yeah. I mean, we've heard about like Marina's treatment of like the lady skaters compared to men, and it's
mhm.
super upsetting. But yeah. So do you want to move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk so super exciting news. Three skaters decided to come out yesterday. Jason Brown, U.S. men's figure skater Kaitlyn Weaver and Paul Poirier. And was June 11th circled on the IMG calendar or something? Because it was all the
Oh,
same day.
no, no. Jason's is later in the day, so a part of me kind of feels like he was inspired
Yeah,
by
I was
these other
inspired. It's so funny to me that because
yeah.
Paul and Kaitlyn both had like articles, and I was like, did Skate Canada plan this? And like, do we think they knew they were coming out on the same day?
It was lovely. It was lovely to see though. And like Jason's post, oh my God, I love Jason so much. What a wonderful skater and human being. Well, like from what we know, I'm so happy for him. Definitely, I saw this tweet that was like, non-figure skating fans, would kind of assume that, figure skating is a welcoming space for people to come out, but unfortunately it's not. And in Paul's article, he talked about that heteronormativity in figure skating and figure skating culture, and I think that's so telling. And I'm so glad that they've they were able to come out before the Olympic season starts. Super happy for all three of them.
Yeah, I think it's really awesome to see in skating recently. I think I don't really feel like this like romantic angle has been pushed very often. If I don't think in skating, obviously a lot of skating pairs are married or dating or used to date, which is but obviously you have Gabby and Gui is gay. He has a boyfriend, and he and Gabby have this really wonderful connection on ice that really translates, regardless of romance as well. And I think it's really awesome to see different like skaters still able to have a really awesome connection regardless of like romance or love. I mean, there's obviously like very different types of love that can be expressed, and I think it's awesome to see that in skating.
Yeah, super happy for all three of them. Moving on, did you see that like Moser has this army of like 15 and 16-year-olds? It's very amusing to see.
No, I didn't.
She just has so many teenage skaters that are like,
I'm
sure like the minute she sees that one Paris team looking out, she's like gonna break them up.
It reminds me of like the TikTok trend that was like, never mind, I'll find someone like you, but like it's like one of her girls and it's like all of them. That's what I feel like it is.
I saw the video of Lisa Osakina and her partner doing side-by-side triple Lutzes.
Oh, exciting.
No.
But like I just said, Instagram skating is fake. It doesn't exist. It's never existed.
But it was in a show. It was in a show.
Oh, in a show. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's exciting. Has anyone competed side-by-side triple Lutches since Megan and Eric?
Yeah. Oh. No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Crazy. Well, I mean, maybe they're the first, because that was kind of what made Megan and Eric so like not like dominant, but they like really racked up the points with that.
Yeah, it's why people thought that Megan could sustain herself as a single skater within Canada, because her jump content is probably harder than the current competing Canadian.
Well, they had the side by side triple Luxes and the quad sal, and the quad twist, right?
Yeah,
they were. Yeah, I
also throw axle.
Oh yeah, and the triple axle. Like I think they were only only Aljona and Bruno had better content. Did you see Bruno's post yesterday and with him and his family? I was like, oh my gosh, like that sucks.
That sucks. She robbed him of his skating show income.
Yeah,
that's awful.
Yeah, that really sucks. I think it's really sucky the way that Aljona and Eric really did their partners dirty. Just not cool. And I hope karma is real and that what they get going for them comes to them, because that's just not cool. I saw that Megan, this is like old news, but Megan and her partner from Battle of the Blades like joked about touring together on Instagram. I hope they're considering it, maybe for at least a couple shows.
I did see that. But Dylan Moskovich.
Oh yeah, it's Dylan. That's awesome. I always enjoy Dylan skating.
I was like the biggest Lubov and Dylan fan.
Their
I
lifts, so good.
I remember in 2018 at nationals, I was like hoping and praying they would get that spot to the Olympics over
Jillian.
KMT and
Oh
Nyman.
yeah, KMT, because Jillian and Tyler were number 2.
Because yeah, it was between them, and I was like, oh my god, Lubov is so good, such a talented skater. But yeah,
I
I'm
know.
excited to see them. They're gonna be on Stars on Ice.
I know, that's so
Which
exciting. Buy your tickets now.
yeah,
No.
go support them.
Yeah, gosh. We were talking about this earlier about like celebrities and like entertainers, anyone that like isn't like an entertainer. And I have this like steadfast rule. I don't follow anyone who's like a celebrity or like person who's famous on social media. I think it's just like so like celebrities are so cringe. Like I just don't enjoy
Yeah,
them, and like it keeps me sane. Like I prefer to interact with them, like not with them directly, like because that's just weird. I just think it's weird.
well, I don't think like celebrities are particularly like compelling people in their,
No,
you know,
they're
real
not
life.
interesting. Like
Yeah,
if they're like an actor or like a singer or whatever, like people. I engage with their work, not them.
yeah,
Um,
100%.
like
Uh,
I was reading this. Sorry to take us off track, but like it's like I was reading Du Ex Moi, and people were talking about like how comedians are like really unprepared for like the spotlight because these are just people that like wanted to like make funny videos or like do improv or whatever, and now they're like millionaires and people want to like talk to them all the time, and like how they're really unprepared. It like just reminds me a lot of how some but not all artists are really just like normal people that just want to do like their art, and they don't like being famous. I think I would hate being famous. So they're like
yeah,
weird when they become famous because they don't know how to handle it.
yeah.
Anyways, I was just thinking about that. Sorry.
No, 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 don't apologize. I get it. I think I would just like crack under pressure. I don't like people knowing things about me, like knowing things about my
Oh
personal
yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Like you know, like the John Mulaney stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Oh,
It
but
reminds me
yeah,
of the Tumblr post that was like, "You will know nothing about me except the small moments of personality I reveal in moments of vulnerability."
yeah, yeah. But yeah, onto the Bruno thing. I think it's like going to be impossible
Yeah.
for him to find like a, you know, I think that he should partner up with Megan for skating shows. I think
Yeah,
that
they
they could,
should do like shows in Japan and stuff.
well, they'd be like such a lucrative partnership. More than I think within Canada, Dylan and you know Megan make so much
Yeah,
sense, but Bruno should definitely contact her.
I know. It would be honestly like not like fun, but if they did like a thing where they had like it was like Megan and Dylan and Bruno, so they had them like it was like a carnival like show act, but like they're like, oh, like who can like they like do the same elements and like see the difference between them, kind of like to like the fans or whatever, like, oh, like Megan does like 2 twists with each or whatever, and like we like get to see the differences or whatever. I don't know, that's probably just like me as a skating fan would enjoy seeing that, since Megan is
Like,
kind of like the perfect size for a pair skater, and like any pair guy can really handle her.
yeah, I mean, you like you know how it goes on like Stars on Ice when they'll have like 3 skaters on ice. I
Mm-hmm.
remember like, I think in one Stars on Ice Canada, in one year they did like Kaitlyn, Andrew, Tessa all on ice, and he would lift both of them, and it was you know it was really pretty. They did that "Where's My Love" song, I think.
Oh yeah.
So pretty, so pretty.
But yeah, I would love to see Bruno and Megan skate together. I feel like Megan would like love it because Bruno is so strong.
Yeah,
Like she would be like, oh my gosh, like let's go for like the Quinn twist.
yeah, and they know each other. They should
Yeah,
definitely talk to each other and do shows abroad. I feel like that's gonna happen. I
yeah.
feel it's gonna happen.
Um, but yeah, that is. Do you have any other thoughts about skating this week? Definitely really sad to see that like Aljona has decided to, partner with someone who is known as like not being a good person in a skating camp that is surrounded by a lot of just a lot of like bad shit to kind of put it honest. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the USFSA told all the Broadmoor skaters to leave last fall, and I mean, obviously a lot of people are still there, but it just doesn't seem like a good place to be. And it really sucks that Aljona is putting a chance of going to the Olympics again above her morals. But again, as we said, talented people are usually not very good morally. That's just unfortunately the name of the game. But we'll see how this plays out.
It's a very loserish decision.
Yeah.
There's like nothing.
It seems very much a reaction to Eric and Vanessa partnering up, and Aliona's like, oh my gosh, like these were my competitors and they're partnering up and they're gonna win an Olympics, and like I'm not gonna be remembered, so I have to like come up with a response. It's just very like high school, like like the boy you like stops talking to you and the other girl, so you like find a guy really quickly to like show him that you're like not bothered by it.
Yeah. Except this is like a billion times worse because of
like a billion times worse because they're adults and TJ is a horrible person.
Yeah, I mean she's not.
Oh, also like, TJ's Reddit account. I don't know if I'm gonna talk about that.
He was like trying to be like funny and ironic with his comments, and it was just like, you are a literal demon. Like this is not.
He's
funny.
Also our age. Like I always forget about that because he seems older because like he's been around in skating.
He's 21. He's 21.
He's 21. Oh, well, is he 2001 or 1999? Or 2000. Okay, well he's like would have been like our age, like a year above us in class, which is just like so abhorrent. I just really I almost don't have words. I'm very upset about it.
Yeah, and he ditched his last partner for Aljona, which is
Nadia.
No, Bryn.
Bryn.
Bryn McIsaac was partners with one of his cronies, Mark Sadusky, and TJ essentially stole his partner. He's also roommates with Mark, so
reminds me of I forget who it was, but the junior ice dance team that broke up, and then the boy broke up with his girl partner, and then he started dating the other girl, and he took her to prom. Do you remember this? I heard. Oh yeah, it was Ian. Oh my god, teenage like not to like make light of what TJ did, but teenagers are so melodramatic. I'm not talking about TJ. I'm talking about the prom thing because I think it's funny.
Oh yeah, it was Ian and Eliana Groupman's.
Oh yeah.
It's like dating his current skating partner.
Yeah. Did you? Oh, also those really cute junior skaters, Isabella and the ones that are like really big on Instagram.
Isabella Flores.
Yes.
I really want to interview them.
They're so cute. Are they on Junior Grand Prix this year?
I think so. Yeah, they're really young. It's so awesome because they're making figure skating more accessible. I was like scrolling through her Instagram to kind of see what other like if she does like any other informative videos, and oh my god, she did like this one like Twizzle challenge with the other skaters that are rank, and it was
oh my god, it was so cute.
So endearing, and I loved it, and it's really awesome because
okay, so like talk to Christina and Anthony about this, how like skating is really being made accessible, because like I think people see skating as cool, people want to watch skating, but it's just not accessible. And I talked a little about that, but I've been watching the Formula One series on Netflix, Drive to Survive, and Formula One like before 2018 or 2017 or so was like kind of like really inaccessible, but they got taken over by a new operating company, and they like totally began making this like thousands of videos like of footage access to fans. They created this Netflix series. I mean, I like am now like a Formula One fan, and it's because of that. And I feel like skating really benefits from people want to get involved, they just don't know how.
Yeah, 100%. It's so, I don't know, I think it's so awful that like at least on YouTube, so many videos are geo-blocked, and copyright issues are a big reason why we can't we can't find skating videos. Like I remember Sarah, I think it was Sarah who was talking about how she couldn't find Gabby and Guillaume's Euros 2019 or something like that, and it's just like how is this possible that like the Olympic silver medalists, like
world champions, 4-time world 4-time world champions or 5-time world champions. I forget.
They've won a million world
They won.
championships.
They have a lot of world titles. They're like one of the top teams, and we can't find their program. Like that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
Um,
ridiculous.
yeah, I really think skating has like a lot of like has a big potential audience, especially in the U.S. But just like nothing really happens of it.
I know. Um, I think like Channel One, the
Oh
Russia
yeah, Russia. They do such a
channel.
great job with the
Oh my God, they do
free.
such a good job. Like all of the Cup of Russia stages, they like post like high quality, high definition content.
Yeah,
So good.
it's live streamed on YouTube,
Yeah.
which
Um,
is awesome. Like, can you imagine if like it was live streamed or like at least like prime time? Like it's only on NBCSN and NBC here in the
yeah.
States, and like for nationals, they don't even show like.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking about this in relation to women's artistic gymnastics with US nationals, how like golf was being played in lieu of US nationals during an Olympic season. Like we are so close to the Olympic trials and people like had to do it, this hunt to find a live stream, and it's like so upsetting because women's artistic gymnastics is such a popular sport. And
Yeah, I think they showed NCAA's on NBC, which I think was cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I think also like I'm gonna have to look at the data, but I feel like unfortunately the truth is people will watch gymnastics less or figure skating less, and they'll watch golf or football or like,
Yeah.
which like sucks, but like
But I
yeah.
mean, if you make things like figure skating more accessible, then who knows what that
That's
audience
true.
is going to look like in the US, because I mean, Anthony and Christina were talking about how they love competing in Russia.
Yeah,
And
because of the
yeah,
infrastructure.
yeah, and like the fans are so they know their shit. They watch figure skating, they follow figure skating. And unfortunately, that's not the case if you're competing at Skate America or, at US Nationals. You know, Perhaps a
Yeah,
lot of the fans have gotten free tickets, or they're not like, very knowledgeable about skating, which is, totally fine. But it's so awesome if US figure skating and the ISU makes figure skating more accessible at the very least by,
yeah,
increasing, free streaming services, or just posting videos and, circumventing, geo-blocking issues and, copywriting
yeah.
issues.
I don't follow speed skating, but I would love to know what like speed skating fans like what their relationship is with the ISU in terms of like I think speed skating is maybe not as prestigious as figure skating, but I think they have a lot more fans worldwide.
You
Um,
think so?
I mean, like at least in the US, like everyone knows who like Apollo Ono is. Um,
But that's yeah, but like I was looking at the amount of views that like speed skating videos get, and it's like way less.
oh
On
really?
yeah,
Okay.
I have noticed. Maybe I'm wrong because I'm not a speed skating fan. It is the first sport I followed though when I was like
Oh my
6.
God, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, but like I would love to know like what the relationship is with like in terms of like the ISU doing broadcasting rights and like I assume it must be different because there's no music in the program, so they don't get taken down for copyright. But like I would love to know just in terms of like in like geo blocking and the relationship ISU has with different like the Korean TV channel took down all the videos in like 2018. Like I would just love to know what speed skating fans think of the ISU in terms of like media and getting it out there.
yeah. I remember like sometimes like a few years ago I was like trolling the ISU channel, and I was like seeing that they live stream a lot of the speed skating competitions.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how do you not have enough money? They 100% do have enough money to kind
Yeah,
of
it's
serve.
probably different like because they're allowed to stream the junior competitions because no
Yeah,
one has bought the rights for them.
yeah,
But like probably like no one wants to buy the rights for speed skating, so they can do
yeah,
it themselves. Ugh,
yeah,
just sucks.
yeah, super upsetting. So yeah, I think that's about it in terms of skating news.
Yeah. What do you?
Honestly, yeah.
Well,
So sorry, what?
I was gonna say, are we expecting anything in the next week for skating news or?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm expecting more program
yeah,
announcements.
I'm excited.
Uh, we're like we're nearing mid-June. All of the Russian skaters are currently at training camp. Some of them are down at training camp, but I know we're gonna be interviewing Tiffany soon. Tiffany Zaworski, and she's currently at training camp, and I know all the Sambo 70 girls are. So I'm looking forward to hearing program announcements. I feel like Anya is gonna get that first program announcement because she's a world champion.
Yeah, I agree. I remember Alina announced hers really early after she won. Well, after 2018 and after 2019, her announcements were really early.
Yeah. Oh my God, Tracy Wilson reposted Jason's a story.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Or Jason's Instagram post that says "Love wins." Oh. Yeah, very sweet.
Jason's still in Canada, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome that London opened up yesterday.
I know. I'm really, I'm happy for Christina and Anthony. I hope I hope they can like hang out with other skaters.
Yeah, I know. I feel like also just in terms of like training, it must be so much easier.
Yeah, and they just started training at that new gym, so
yeah,
both things work out for them. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, everyone. We're gonna peace out.
Thank you so much. We'll be posting this later today, and then the Christina and Anthony interview will be tomorrow, and we'll be posting our I, Tonya movie review at some point in time. We need to get on that. It's not really an I, Tonya review. It's like I, Tonya and like Gossip Girl ranting.
We just like talk a lot.
Yeah, that was bad. Speaking of Gossip Girl, did you see the new Gossip Girl trailer for the reboot?
I did. I'm really excited for it.
I am so excited. Who do you think your favorite characters are going to be?
I don't know any of their names.
Well, like physical descriptions, and I can tell you the names.
The girl with the plaid outfit. That one of the people I follow posted.
The one that I like quote tweeted, Monet.
Yes.
Monet.
Yes.
Yeah, I like Monet.
Yes.
I am so excited for this love triangle between Audrey and Max and like Ike. Yeah, I think it's gonna be so good, and like I think I like all three of those characters, and I also really like the influencer, Julian Calloway. She seems very Blair. She's like,
it's very funny.
I'm influential.
I like the last name choice, Calloway.
I know, like Caroline Calloway. I wonder if that was intentional or not.
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to rewatch Gossip Girl now. I've watched it so many times. I talked about this in our I, Tonya recap, which is basically just us talking about Gossip Girl in the last like hour of the episode. But I am a Lily and Rufus hater. Like I'm a hater of them. I hate them so much.
This is so mean to me because I love Lily and Rufus.
I think that they're like the worst parents. They're the most annoying
couple. I think Rufus is a bad parent. He is not the worst parent of the bunch.
Okay. Who's the worst parent of the bunch?
I would say
Nate's parents.
Nate's parents. Maybe Mr. Bass.
Yeah.
Lily's up there. Lily and Rufus are like the least worst parents. Oh, Cece, terrible parent. Okay, we gotta end this before we keep talking about this. Yeah. But everyone, go watch Gossip Girl so we can talk about the reboot together. All right, see you guys soon. Bye.